How can I sleep better while I'm traveling? This was a question that was posed to me by Susan, and she happens to travel for a living, and she's also a high-level athlete, and she's noticing that she's having more and more trouble sleeping while she's on the road. I want to share the suggestions that I gave her. I want to share with you as well, and that is when you're traveling, do your level best to keep your environment as constant as you possibly can. Now, what I'm about to mention to you may not always be logistically possible, but I want you to give it at least the best effort that you can. I want you to try to travel with your pillow. I know that sounds crazy, but when you look at the head position and what you're comfortable with, a pillow plays a significant role in your comfort level. It's also going to avoid any kind of, getting a crick in your neck or anything like that. Not only will it'll improve your sleep at night, but it'll avoid the risk of you having soft tissue ailment the next day. I would encourage you to try to travel with your sheets. If you've ever been into, in this case for someone who's in and out of hotels or Airbnbs quite a bit, if you've ever laid down in a bed where the sheet count, the thread count, isn't the same of what you're used to at home, it can almost get to a point where the sheets feel itchy. So this is why I always say travel with your pillow, travel with your sheets. If possible, travel with an oscillating fan. Now again, for some of you where you're in and out of hotels almost every day, I know it's not realistic to buy a fan, but what I have found is when you go to most hotels and almost every Airbnb that I go to, there is an oscillating fan somewhere in the house. I would encourage you to do this at home, but I'm assuming that you're sleeping with a fan at home. You're now sleeping with your familiar pillow and your sheet. Now your body's going to be in a certain level of familiarity. A couple other things to think about. I always travel with earplugs and I always travel with an eye mask. Now I know for the men that are out there, they may think that's a little fluffy to sleep with the eye mask, but what we're trying to do is block out any unwanted light and any unwanted noise. If you've watched me on any other video talking about sleep, when you're in the bed, we need there to be no light and no audible sounds. Our brain wants to engage into anything that it hears. Music, television station, a conversation. Our brain wants to engage in that. So when you can get the room to where it's dark, that's why the night mask is a tremendous help. You may be in a hotel room where maybe the light right outside your curtain, you're not able to block it out enough and it doesn't allow the room to become dark enough specifically for what you're familiar with. Have you ever noticed when you're at home and you wake up, you can kind of sense the light in the bedroom is coming up and all of a sudden it stimulates you? That's what we're trying to avoid to increase the sleep quality. So that would be the first thing that I would always start with is a pillow. I would then add the blanket. I would add the oscillating fan, the earplugs, and the eye mask. What you also want to keep in mind is when you go to a new location, make sure that the room is cold enough. The ideal number is 69 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Celsius. We want to be in that 67 to 69 range in the air temperature. You want to create almost an environment of hibernation. Get a couple blankets, get to where you're really snuggled down in there, and you'd be surprised how much this will improve your sleep quality, whether you're at home or whether you're on the road. So I want to thank all of you guys. I'm overwhelmed by how many emails are coming in a very positive way. You guys, our goal here is to make sure that once a day we can answer one of your questions, and we promise we will get to your question as well. So thank you for being patient with us. If you haven't sent us in a question, please do so. contact@coachrob.com. Me and my team will definitely dig into any question that you may have. We'll make sure that we get it on video, and we'll make sure that we can share your question with all of our followers. Thank you so much for watching the video, and we'll see you again soon.